Good day, students. It's a story time. Today, let's listen one story of Birbal and the dishonest officer. One day, an officer of Emperor Akbar's court had a challenge with a poor man. He said to the poor man, "I will give you 5 gold coins if you stay in the cold water of the pond for 1 full night." The poor man accepted the challenge because he was badly in need of money. The next evening, the poor man stepped into the pond and spent the whole night in the cold water. Guards were posted at the pond to keep watch over the man. In the morning, they reported that the man had spent the whole night standing in the pond. But the officer refused to pay 5 gold coins to the poor man. When the poor man went to the officer to collect the reward, the officer asked him, "Was there a lamp near the pond?" The poor man said, "Yes, sir." The officer asked, "Did you look at the lamp?" The poor man replied, "Yes, sir, I did look at the lamp." Then the officer said, "There you are. You could stand in the cold water because you have received heat from the lamp. You have no right to ask for the reward." By saying this, the officer drove away the poor man. The poor man went to the Birbal for help. Birbal listened to the poor man's story. He understood the whole matter. He said, "Don't worry, I'll get your justice." He promised the poor man and sent him away. The next day, Birbal did not go to the court. Emperor Akbar sent his men to find out the reason for Birbal's absence. The man returned to the emperor and said, "Your Majesty, Birbal says that he is busy in cooking. He will come as soon as his meal is cooked." Birbal's strange reply surprised Emperor Akbar, so he went himself to Birbal's house. Akbar was more surprised when he saw the scene in the compound of Birbal's house. Birbal was blowing a fire on the ground. An adan pot was hanging high up on a bamboo pole. The emperor said, "Birbal, what is this foolishness? How can the heat of the fire on the ground can reach to the pot hanging up so high?" Birbal replied, "If a man standing in the pond can receive heat from the lamp at the pond, then why can't pot receive heat from the fire on the ground?" The emperor asked Birbal to explain his point clearly. Then Birbal told him how the poor man was wronged by one of the officers of the royal court. Then Emperor Akbar called both officer and the poor man and told them to explain themselves, whatever happened with them. He listened them both carefully, and finally Akbar came with a conclusion. He commanded officer by saying, "You have lost the challenge and you must pay 5 gold coins to the man right now." The officer had to obey the emperor's order. He apologized for his mistake and gave 5 gold coins to the poor man. The poor man thanked emperor and the Birbal for his help. So, this is how the clever Birbal helped the poor man and gave him justice. So students, we should always be honest to everyone. Thank you students.